Alola trainers, welcome to another TCG video on the PoTown Store YouTube channel. My name is ZapdosTCG and together we're going to be checking out the top 10 best cards from Fusion Strike, so get ready! Okay, number 10 actually goes to Crabominable V. This is a crazy card which actually allows you to hit for huge damage. 90 damage plus 60 more for every damage counter on the opponent's active Pokemon. You can get this off with Galarian, Zigzagoon, you can use the Inteleon with quick shooting, and of course you have the necessary energy acceleration methods. You can use Melanie on top of maybe using Frostmoth. So you can get this attack off no problems as, and if you get a couple of Inteleon quick shooters out, you're going to be able to one-hit KO anything in the game with the Destroyer Punch of Crabominable V. As a little side note, this also is able to mill 2 cards from the opponent's deck, so it might even be its own stall archetype with stuff like Cape of Toughness and Crushing Hammers and all that nasty stuff. So it's definitely a very great number here on the number 10 spot. Moving forward, it's going to be Latias on the number 9 spot. Latias is a Fusion Strike card. Fusion Strikes are of course on the right top corner, as you can see that marker Fusion Strike, the third battle styles. We already had of course Rapid Strike, Single Strike, and now Fusion Strike comes into the mix, and that's how you're going to be seeing a lot of Fusion Strike cards in this top 10 because that's what the set is here for. A couple of cool archetypes in there for sure, but more importantly Fusion Strike will be a tier 1 archetype, and Latias is a very crazy Pokemon having the Dyna Barrier attack, allowing you to actually be immune from VMAXs. You're going to be seeing why this card is going to be very good in specific decks, but for now, number 8, Elesa's Sparkle, and this is very cool because you're going to accelerate energies in your Fusion Strike deck. If you're playing a Fusion Strike deck, you're going to be loving this because you're going to be able to accelerate 2 Fusion Strike energies straightly from the deck to actually 2 of your Pokemon. So one Pokemon gets 1 energy each, and it's very cool because in the Fusion Strike deck, actually you're going to be able to draw so many cards that you are able to play slower supporters that do not draw cards in the form of energy acceleration. Very, very cool here, number 8. Then number 7 is going to be the Fusion Energy itself. Why is this good? Well, we had of course Spiral Energy and the other energies that were not too impactful. This is very good because it makes your Fusion Strike Pokemon that this energy is attached to immune from abilities done to it. So no longer quick shooting of Inteleon is going to be an issue, Headbutt Tantrum of Galarian Zigzagoon, or maybe even stuff like Dark Signal from an Umbreon VMAX. Forget about it, we are immune from that if we have this energy attached. We can accelerate it with Elesa Sparkle, and also can get it out with an attack of a Pokemon we're going to be mentioning later in the video, but Fusion Strike literally has it all. Number 6 is Gengar VMAX. Of course, Fusion Strike is going to be the word all around, but Single Strike also gets a new buff with Gengar VMAX. The Fear and Panic allows you to tap 60 damage for every V Pokemon the opponent has in play, and with stuff like Echoing Horn, you can actually punish the opponent quite a little bit. Single Strike energies allow you to dish out more damage, and with Houndoom that's easier than ever to accelerate, and Gengar already stabs 250, which is a very high number. If you can get a couple of Single Strike energies on there, you're going to be able to KO most VMAXs out there, which is very, very cool in my book. Moving forward, we're going to be checking out number 5, and that's going to be the Cross Switcher. Do you remember Guzma from Burning Shadows? Well, this is exactly Guzma in an item form. You do need to play 2 copies, however, of course, to get this attack. So as soon as you play 2 cross switchers simultaneously, you can switch your active with one of your bench Pokemon and then use a gust effect on the opponent's bench Pokemon and drag to the active position. So Boss's Orders and Switch all into one in the cross switcher. You might think, why is it going to be good? Because you need 2 copies in the hand. Well, with a card that I'm going to mention later in this video, it allows you to draw so many cards, and there's also very crazy combos possible with the Peony supporter card from Chilling Reign. So very interesting cross switcher. Moving forward is powertablet. Who remembers Electro Power? Well, the Fusion Strike decks will have it good. You might say, oh, they're a little bit underwhelming with their damage output. Well, nothing more is true. You do see the powertablet allowing you to slap 30 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. So an attack, for instance, let's say for example, that Latias actually was able to slap 70. You can turn that into 100. You can turn it into 130. You can turn it into more damage than ever before. You can play 4 copies of the powertablet. As a little side note, there's also a Smeargle allowing you to get back 2 Fusion Strike cards from the discard pile, so that might be a nice way to get these back. But it's going to be very good because it allows you to one-shot with with the V and the VMAXs from Fusion Strike. So that's going to be interesting. If they're Fusion Strike and they want to have some additional damage output, damage output has always been good ever since Plus Power, so believe me when I say that powertablet is definitely one of the strongest cards of the set. There's also some noteworthy cards that I really wanted to get a little mention here, because they were also pretty interesting. The Battle VIP Pass did not make the list just because of the fact that it is only working on the first turn, but it's great to fetch 2 Pokemon. There's also the supporter Sydney, which might see its way in a control list. We don't know for certain, but it's definitely going to be impactful, and these are some noteworthy trainer cards. Other than that, we're going to be talking about the top 3 best cards of the set very shortly. Before we give a huge shout out to Greedent VMAX. I know certain believers are out there making the Greedent VMAX deck work. Let me know if that is you. Also, Bolton VMAX barely didn't make the list just because of the fact there's I only had room for 10 cards. That's exactly what we are doing. Are you ready for the top 3? Here we go. Number 3, Inteleon VMAX Rapid Strike. So we had a great single strike card in the form of Gengar. We have some fusion strikes we're going to be talking about later in the video. And Rapid Strike Inteleon is good. And the reason for it is not its ability. Its ability is great because you can discard a water energy and then snipe 2 damage counters on 2 of the opponent's Pokemon. Very busted, you might say, but the best thing about this card is the attack. The G-Max Spiral, 70 damage, and you may put an energy back into your hand if you do 70 more. That means 140 freaking damage, and that means this is going to be going back to the hand. That means Cheryl is the best friend of Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX. You could attack, Cheryl, Palpat, attack Cheryl. You know how it goes. It's going to be fantastic, and you're also not weak against Crushing Hammer because always your energy goes back to the hand. If you're playing this with Octillery, you can instantly find your Rapid Strike energy if the opponent uses Marnie. So I love this card, not only for its ability could be nice in some sort of a spread mechanic deck with, of course, quick shooting Inteleons on top of that, but the G-Max Spiral just is very good. I tested it and it's definitely a solid tier 1 or maybe tier 1.5 archetype. So we're going to see how impactful it will be. Then the 2 last cards of the set. Number 2, it is Mew VMAX. You might think, this is not the best card of the set. Well, in my opinion, there's one card better than the Mew VMAX, and you're gonna be seeing that right after we talk about Mew VMAX. Mew VMAX Fusion Strike Pokemon having free retreat, ridiculous. Free retreat, having free retreat is awesome. That's like a nice bonus. Escape rope plays become more viable. Cross switcher plays become more viable. Mew VMAX can also copy all the attacks of your Fusion Strike Pokemon on the bench without needing the required energy. So you can copy that Latias attack that we just talked about and become immune from VMAXs. And you also have an attack that slaps 130 and goes through all the effects. You have access to power tablets, making yourself the damage output you always desired. You can use the fusion energy to become immune from abilities. So much to love about Mew VMAX. And I wonder if Mew VMAX is going to be an archetype and going to be the best deck in the format. How many Darkness decks will rise? Will Gengar please stand up? Will Eternus still come out of the depth of hell where it came from? Where is Eternus, by the way? So lots of Darkness decks out there. Will people attacking Galarian Moltres? Who knows? But this is going to be bonkers. And the reason for that is number 1, ta-da, Genesect V. Genesect V is crazy. And the reason for it is the Fusion Strike system. In the days, long ago in a far land, I played Magnezone Prime. And that drew cards until you have 5 in the hand. And that was very good because that actually allowed you to make multiple stage 2s in one deck because you can draw so many cards. Pair this on the basic instead of a stage 2. You can draw cards equal to the amount of Fusion Strike Pokemon you have in play. Imagine you have a full field of Fusion Strike Pokemon. Also a little noteworthy notification is that Oricorio also is very noteworthy because that reduces damage done to all of your Fusion Strikes by 20. Definitely need that on the bench, so a little shout out to Oricorio here. Oricorio are a fantastic fire type card. So, as we're saying, we have 6 Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. That means this ability is just stating, draw cards until you have 6 in the hand. And this stacks. For every Genesect, you can use that. So let's just say in a fantastic world, there are 6 Fusion Strike Pokemon on our bench, actually in play, 1 in the active, 5 on our bench, and then we draw cards until we have 6. So many item cards we can play, Great Ball, Evolution and Sense, Quick Ball, etc. Attaching an energy, out of nowhere, you have a 0 card hand. You can use the Fusion Strike again, drawing 6 fresh cards. Oh, you have some power tablets you can slap down for more damage output. You use Peony, discard everything, and then get some more power tablets. Draw another 6 cards with the Fusion Strike system, play some more cards. It's crazy. I know this gets shut down by Path to the Peak, but just play more stadiums. Maybe play 5 stadiums. There's so many stadiums to choose from. Old Cemetery is personally my personal favorite for Fusion Strike decks because Mew VMAX is the poster boy of the deck. But it's all possible because of Genesect, not only because of its ability, but also because of its attack and its raw damage output of 210 damage. As we've seen with Brave Blade, that's crazy damage output early on. You can use Elesa Sparkle, you can use Metal Saucer, you can use the attach of the turn, you can use the attack on the Mew V to accelerate the energy. So many energy accelerations for Genesect V. You can even go for the Ryan method here. So very great. Genesect by itself could even be a deck on its own. There's the Toxtricity, also a little shout out that reduces the damage from VMAXs by 30. The reason why it's not in here is because of the fact that VMAXs will still be around, but also V-Stars are coming in February. So we need to be taking a look at the future, right? And Genesect just has it all. Drawing cards, slapping damage, and is going to be very, very great until it rotates. So that's why my number 1 pick is Genesect. And with, of course, Mew being able to copy the Technoblast for 2 energies, you have the deck build up. Genesect and Mew are partners in crime, and it's going to be the best deck in the format, at least at the start of the format, and that's going to be changing around. It's not overhyped like Rayquaza, it's just very good. I tested it a lot, and yeah, I know you're weak to Path to the Peak, but counter that. You can use Peony and a lot of Stadium cards in your list, and you're going to be good. Capture Energy could also work out for the Mew VMAX as it requires Kara's energy, so lots of things possible with the Fusion Strike archetype. But now I want to know, what is going to be your favorite card from the set? I am very curious to hear your opinions down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to destroy the hell out of the like button on this PoTown Store YouTube video. My name was ZapdosTCG. I am very curious to hear your favorite card from Fusion Strike. Go hop over to the PoTown Store and get some codes to, of course, yeah, play with these fantastic cards. And I will be seeing you guys in a future video very, very shortly. Thank you again for watching, and this has been my top 10 best cards of Fusion Strike. Peace.